What's up, fight fans? Hold on, let me set shit up here. I didn't even have everything set up. My bag. I don't know why this is up. I don't know why that is up. What's up, fight fans? We are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports Talk. I am your host, Edwin. And where the wall fight start.
Round one.
Yeah, man, let's talk about it. I want to know today's topic is going to be based on what's up, Carlos? How you doing in the building? Listen, I want to talk about today. What's up, Frontline in the building? How you guys doing? Thank you for tuning in. And here's the topic today. Is Jake Paul good for boxing? Is this kind of gimme fight that Tank Davis and Jake Paul are throwing on right now? Is it good for the sport of boxing? And what is it doing right now? You know, a lot of speculations are coming out right now from Tank Davis's side that Lamont Roach was offered some step aside money so that Tank Davis and Jake Paul can shoot this exhibition fight in the middle of Tank Davis's height in his career. And I want to ask the viewing public, what do you guys think about this? Are you guys with this fight right here with Jake Paul and Tank Davis? Is this what boxing needs? Like, okay, I want to bring up a good point, and I want everyone to hear me right now. What they're pushing for Tank Davis to all of us is the fact that Tank Davis is one of the biggest stars in the face of boxing. Is that not what they're telling us? Yes or no? Yes or no, right? They're telling us that Tank Davis is one of the biggest sellers in all of boxing. So why does Tank Davis need Jake Paul? And why is Jake Paul on the left side of the poster? Which means Jake Paul is the A side to an event he's hosting on it. His platform he's signed with MVP, Netflix. This is not Tank Davis signed with Netflix. This is not a Tank Davis event. But yet, Tank Davis is the biggest seller in all of boxing. But apparently, the only time he ever really broke those kind of numbers, he broke a record gate at the Barclays Center. Cool. But with Ryan Garcia, and now he'll probably do it with Jake Paul. You take away Ryan Garcia, you take away Jake Paul, right? And what would Tank Davis's career be without Floyd Mayweather? The push that Floyd Mayweather gave Tank Davis. Because in the beginning of Tank Davis's career, what made Tank Davis one of the things, not everything. One of the things that gave Tank Davis star status was the opportunity to take a look at Floyd Mayweather at one of his fights. In the early part of Tank Davis's career, Floyd was in attendance. People were showing up it was basically a Floyd event. All Floyd's friends were there. All Floyd's movie stars were there. All Floyd's actors, athletes were all there because of Floyd, not because of Tank. Now, Tank did his part. Tank stepped up, started knocking people out, and giving the fans what they want to see. And with Tank's help, Floyd Mayweather's help, Tank took off. Or did he? Or did he? Or did he? Yo, so if Tank Davis didn't have the push from Floyd, would he be the superstar he is today? You really think so with the guys that he's fighting? Tank's explosive. He's a phenomenal talent. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I'm not going to sit here and say like Tanks hasn't proven that, you know, he can land that uppercut on you at any time. I'm not going to sit here and say that, right? My shit's acting up back here. So I'm not going to sit here and say that, but he has not fought the level of competition. Now, aside from the Puerto Rican superstar there, well, he wasn't really a superstar, global superstar. But as for Puerto Rico, we know who Jose Pedraza is. We know who he is, and we know what he has done in his career. And he went on to become a world champion even after losing to Tank Davis. So that proves that at least one guy was a pretty decent fighter in his own right. Pedraza has his own little, you know, legacy for as far as he went. Now, damn, is this good for boxing, guys? Let me read some of you guys' chats here. What's up, guys? Nobody wants to see no damn Jake and Tank. Frontline says, what's up, Carlos? Carlos, and the obvious answer will be no. I don't care to see this fight, but I guess I'll watch it. Yeah, like most of us, because it's boxing, right? And you're happening to take one of our stars in the height of his career to an exhibition boxing match. And you know what they're going to say after this is all concluded? Look, belts don't matter. You didn't need a belt to pull this off. And that's bullshit. The reason why this is probably going to sell is because of who Tank Davis is. And they're advertising him as a 3-division world champion, in which we all know, the hardcores know, he's no 3-division world champion. Tank Davis is a 2-division world champion. That's the truth. But they're going to dress it up and try to count that Mario Barrios belt at 140, that Mario Barrio wasn't the champion at the time. It was Josh Taylor. He had the real WA title. You know, Mario Barrio had a piece. It's, in other words, like an interim, a regular, not the title, not full title, you know, not full title status. Mario Barrio didn't have full title status, so that's not a real belt, bro. But what are they dressing Tank up as? A 3-division world champion. Now, how do you become a 3-division world champion? You got to get belts. You must get belts. And without those belts, you have no legacy. How the hell you take away those belts from Tank Davis, put him in against Jake Paul? Who's Tank Davis? What makes Tank Davis Tank Davis? The belt. And Tank Davis says, oh, belt don't matter. I'm not fighting for legacy. But how long did he drag around that interim, that regular world title, that WBA regular world title? How long did he drag that in with? How many times did he walk out to the ring with somebody holding that belt in the background like this? Tank. How many times did you see that? Every fucking time. Even when Tank Davis lost his belt on the scale, he still came out with the belt that he had. What do you see? What do you see? What do the fans see? Oh, shit, world title. It's right there. He must be a champion. Right? But Tank's like, yo, I don't need legacy. I don't need these belts. If you didn't need that shit, why didn't you drop that Reggie? Why didn't you drop that Reggie, right? And say, fuck it, I don't need the belts. And don't come out with no belt. Don't be announced as any division world champion and prove to the world that just your name, Tank Davis, and what you're doing can sell all this money. You know, it's funny when they say that them belts didn't matter shit, right? Really, it don't matter. But Mike Tyson and Jake Paul didn't sell out because Mike Tyson was a nobody. Mike Tyson was the undisputed world champion of the world. Mike Tyson was a force. 20-year-old Mike Tyson against 20-year-old Jake Paul. You might as well start making funeral arrangements for Jake Paul. Because he's going to the morgue. All right? That dude couldn't hold Mike Tyson's jockstrap. But yet, as business, like selling a fucking product, Jake Paul is a genius. Listen, let's talk about who Jake Paul is, guys. Jake Paul has a boxing record. If you were to go to BoxRec right now and look up Jake Paul, type in Jake Paul right now, right? It's going to say on BoxRec that this man has 12 fights, 7 knockouts, and 1 loss. Huh? Where did he get 12 fights in the professional box? When did they start counting his matches as professional matches? Like Tyron Woodley was a professional boxer? Yo, the basketball player that he knocked out, what was it, KSI or whoever? Like, let me who did he fight? Okay, Ali Gibb, Nate Robinson, Ben Askren, Tyron Woodley, Anders Silverson, Tommy Fury, Nate Diaz, Andrew Austin, Ryan. Who the fuck are these people? Mike Perry. Mike Perry was that bare knuckle match fighter. Mike Tyson and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Now, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is legitimately a boxer. I don't give a hell. Man, listen, you got to count that shit. I don't care if he came off his couch of a retirement of 2-year layoff. Julio Cesar Chavez was a world champion, bro. And Julio Cesar Chavez was busting his ass in the later rounds, but he took off too soon. I think if there was one more round in that fight, he might have stopped Jake Paul, man. Might have. Julio Cesar Chavez. He just came on late in the fight, man. He blew it. He let Jake get all them early rounds. Yeah, he didn't want to get tired. He tried to drag Jake Paul out into deep water, but Jake was conditioned for it, but he wasn't conditioned to take the ass whooping and go for it. Had he stepped on the gas a little early, yeah. But where's his 12 professional boxing matches? Jake Paul's 12 boxing professional. Where are they? And when did you guys start counting? Bro, it goes to show you what have I always said here on Round One Sports Talk? Yo, since I've been saying it, I've heard more boxing channels repeat this. Boxing is a business disguised as a sport. I told you guys that. In my first show ever, that was my slogan. I try to tell you, you guys got to view boxing in a business light too, and it's fucked up, right? Because we were on the Boxing Voice, and Ness said something very interesting too. And I was sitting back and I was watching, I was hearing it, right? Because he was saying, in no other sport do they make you pay to watch the championship. You know, you just watch the championship, NFL championship on the streaming, where it's streaming now, and the NBA and the basketball and the hockey and everything. And now they're trying to break out and have like the networks, like the hockey network, the baseball network, because everything went up and everybody wants to stream their own shit, and TV really got fucked up. But boxing is the only sport that makes you pay pay-per-view money to watch their championship fights. And when the new arrival of Turki Al-Sheikh and him announcing he's going to do away with pay-per-view, he feels that pay-per-view is hurting boxing, and that if there was no pay-per-view and we made it even, we could start from a fresh start. With the goal in mind is to bring pay-per-view back. Make no mistake. We've been down this road before. Okay? They've raised the price, lowered the price for like 10 years, kept the price high, kept that business mindset that you can't lower your price. Once you raised it, you must keep it there. You know what I'm saying? What's up, guys? Even the Polanco fight was weight drained. All his like a lot of Tank Davis's victories have question marks. Ryan Garcia, weight drain, the rehydration claw. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of them. Leo Santa Cruz was brought up, you know. So wasn't Gamboa. And Gamboa got broken up before Tank fought him. You know, Terrence Crawford brutalized that man. He wasn't the same fighter after that. And Tank, Tank hasn't lived up to the expectation of the true boxing world, like the hardcores of us. Because here's Devin Haney, right? Going through his debacle with Ryan Garcia, coming out looking like a deer in headlights against Jose Ramirez, and then stepping up to the plate and saying, Brian Norman Jr., me and you outside for your belt. You got to commend that. Tank Davis ain't doing no shit like that. Tank Davis didn't go after the guy with 3 belts and unify and become undisputed. Tank Davis didn't fight Lomachenko, but Devin did. And Devin fought Ryan. And, you know, and now Devin's fighting fucking, and so it's like Devin gets a lot of scrutiny, a lot of shit. Like, oh, fuck Devin, he's pillow fisted, this, that, and third. But meanwhile, Tank's over here pulling the wool right over, like, over here. Like, he's like, don't look behind the curtain. Just continue watching the show, Tank Davis. Here, don't worry, don't look back here. He doesn't want us to question what he's doing. And I'm going to tell you right now, had he not been in the position, Tank Davis, that he is in today, meaning he hasn't fought any of the big fights. 0. Ryan Garcia is not a big fight. I'm sorry. You can consider him one of the 4 horsemen, but Ryan Garcia has never competed for a world title, and he's never won a world title. The only fight he competed for was that Reggie belt, not a full championship. And then they elevated Rolly to the full status. But they had to elevate him on the night they fought that wasn't full status. And when he fought Devin Haney, he missed weight, so the WBC world title was not on the line that night. So he never completed it. So in the history books, he has not officially fought for a real world title, Ryan Garcia. So what do you get for that, Tank? That's the equivalence of you fighting Frank the Ghost Martin. Just because Ryan Garcia is more popular, he got fucking 7 million freaking followers or something, that doesn't make him a worthy opponent. So, man, you guys like this shit? You guys want this fight? Look, I said what I had to say. Frontline, any of you guys want to join the panel? I'm going to drop the link in the chat. You guys can come up here if you want to be quick, whatever, and give your opinion and let the world know what you guys think. You know, it's going to be on Netflix, so I'm definitely going to watch it. I'm not hating on the fight. I'm not here to shoot down boxing. Okay. I'm not doing that. Right. But I'm asking you guys, what do you guys think? Is this what boxing needs right here? Shit like this? You know what I mean? See what you guys are saying. What's up, Richard? How you doing, brother? When are Tank fanatics going to realize that Tank fights for the highest bidder? He doesn't care for legacy. I wish that was true, Frontline. I wish that was true. But he doesn't even fight for the highest bidder. Because if that was true, he would be fighting for Turkey. Tank's just avoiding everyone. I've never seen any boxer this talented duck everyone. He's avoiding all the smoke. Not just one guy in the division. He's literally bypassing everyone. The only star he fought in our era is Ryan Garcia. Don't even try to count Rolly. Because what Esau Pitbull Cruz did to that man, and the old man was putting the Beats by Dre on him, we know that. We know what kind of fighter Rolly is. Talk about, I'm not going to say hype job, because Rolly, respectfully, with the skills he has, I think he deserves what he has right now and where he's in his career. He put himself in a pretty good spot. Congratulations to you. So I don't want to take no shots at Rolly, right? But I'm going to tell you right now. Listen, does Tank make it into the Hall of Fame right now if he quits? Does Tank make it into the Hall of Fame? Does the Hall of Fame, can you get into the Hall of Fame with money status, popularity, broken gates? What the fuck does breaking gates, the amount of money you made, have to do with the actual skill in the ring? We start, because of fighters like Floyd Mayweather, start to bring up these points like, congratulations to you. And what it does for boxing is that a lot of people viewed you and you made a shitload of money. But what did you do in the ring? Because I'm going to tell you right now that Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather fight was not entertaining. So, okay, you made a lot of money, but what gets you into the Hall of Fame? Divisions, titles, accomplishments, fights, beating champions, pound for pound ranking. That shit that should get you in the Hall of Fame. And I want to remind you that the people that elect you into the Hall of Fame, they have a variety of a selection group of people. Some former world champions, some coaches, journalists, reporters, people that have been covering the sport for a very long time. They have like this ballot sheet, and they ask these guys to participate in electing the next the how do you say that, like the next group of people that are going to be elected into the Hall of Fame. And that's who elects the people. Everybody gets around or whatever, and they say, well, they look over the fighters' accomplishments, other fighters' things. And there are men that live in that kind of era, 15-round era. These guys are old, right? And they live by a different and push by a different creed. How many battles were you in? Did you meet your equal? Did you fight somebody on the pound for pound ranking? How many world champions did you fight? How many divisions did you climb? And they're asking these guys that did some shit, that have done some shit. These dudes still got scars on their face filling up this ballot, like. And then these reporters and journalists been reporting for over 30 years. The fighters that they've seen throughout the courses of the years, they know what the fuck they're looking at. And you really think, and then they cut down the amount of time to get into the Hall of Fame. It was 5 years. Now it's like 3 years now. So honestly, I'm not even hating. If I was one of the guys on the ballot, I could not accept Tank Davis into the Hall of Fame. Not with who he fought, not the way he got the belts, not his title defenses. I, in good spirit, with all the men and women, because you got to kind of set the bar a little high. But there are other ways to contribute to get into the Hall of Fame. For instance, Sylvester Stallone is in the Hall of Fame. Why? Because his contribution from the movies that he made, Rocky, all the little boys and girls that he inspired to be a boxer throughout his movies, and they watched that shit and was like, I want to be like Rocky. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and the millions of eyes throughout the world, all the countries that a Rocky movie has been played in, they all know boxing because of him. Because of Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone's reach in the boxing world is greater than maybe 1,000 boxers' careers. So his influence is really big, and that's why they elected Sylvester Stallone into the Hall of Fame. There are ring announcers, guys that hit bells, bing, for 40 years, hitting that fucking bell. They're going to honor those guys. You're going to see a picture of him and the bell. It's going to be up there with the hammer on the wall type shit. Those are men that gave their life to the sport in other ways, but their contribution was big. Was big, man. They did some shit. They promoted or advocated or was involved in or out, whether they were a fighter, turned into a coach, trained the world champion type shit. Their contribution. And through all that, now we letting fighters because like Tank and Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is not going to Hall of Fame. He can't. He don't even have a belt. What are we going to do? Because he was handsome? Little pretty dude? He looked like a Superboy Mexican. Dress him up. Put the M right there. Give him a little green cape with the Mexican colors. That boy fits the part. Ryan Garcia, man, had he just not been such a fuck up, Ryan Garcia, and I mean that respectfully because we all mess up, including myself. I didn't make a lot of right decisions when I was young neither. So I can't even hate on Ryan Garcia, but to watch him go through it, I'm like, fuck, man, because he's a remarkable talent, Ryan. That motherfucker's good. He just, fuck. You know, what can you say? It happens to the best of us. That's all. Jose, what up? Ryan will be in the Hall of Shame. In the Hall of Shame. That motherfucker ain't going to the Hall of Fame, baby. Listen, and it's going to be a shame, right? Because in 20 years, no one's going to know Ryan Garcia's name. In 20 years, our kids will not know Ryan Garcia. And they're probably not going to know Tank Davis. Unfortunately. When you go to the Hall of Fame, your name lives on for immortality. For 100 years, people are going to pay tickets. They're going to see your picture on the wall with what you did. Your name's going to live on forever. And even if it leaves or fades away a little bit from the boxing world, like your name, where's the freaking watch that's going off? I can't find it. It's like a bomb. I got to find it. It's going off somewhere. It's going beep, beep. So anyway, you know, you're not going to know who fucking Ryan is. You know, and that's the difference between, you know, putting up a career where it's a legendary, here it is. It's a legendary career, you know, and you were awarded immortality by entering the Hall of Fame. You know, and some of these guys are not going to the Hall of Fame. There's a lot that are not going, unfortunately. You know, everybody can't make it. But there are some people that will be in the Hall of Fame. And I'm telling you right now, Devin Haney is going to the Hall of Fame. The youngest undisputed champion in that weight division in boxing history, the youngest to unify in the 4-belt era. That alone all 4 belts. You ever get all 4 belts in just one weight division? Oh, and by the way, that motherfucker defended all 4 belts against Vasily. A pound for pound fighter. That sealed it right there. He beat Vasily. No matter what your opinion says, Vasily was a pound for pound fighter, a unified world champion, and Devin Haney gave him a shot at all 4 belts and won. He's going to the Hall of Fame, bro. He's going to the Hall of Fame. And you know what I'm saying? Like, see, Devin can Tank can go. His career is not over. But you're not going to the Hall of Fame fighting Jake Paul. And then on top of it, check it out, right? In order for them to sell the fight, in order for them to get this fight, they couldn't even get it like a real boxing match because the weight disparity is so big. Jake Paul's going to come in like 190, right? Where does Tank Davis fight at? 135? Jake Paul is like 6'1". How tall is Tank Davis? 5'5". I don't care how nice Tank Davis is. That uppercut he got and that power, he's not going to hurt Jake Paul like that. Jake Paul should be able to take a full-fledged punch from Tank Davis and just smile at him. He pow. All right. He doesn't, he's too light in the ass. Tank. He don't got enough behind him to knock out a guy that big. You can knock out a guy like that from the street. Like, say, I've seen little dudes knock out big dudes. Like, boom, on a street fight, That dude's not training. He hasn't trained or conditioned his body to take punches. Jake Paul is sparring with big dudes. He's conditioned. Tank can't punch Jake Paul and drop him. No, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I know what it's like to hit a big conditioned dude. They put us in the ring with them all the time, the heavier dudes, so that we can feel that kind of power. We never end up dropping those big motherfuckers, not unless he was like a dude that was coming in the gym that doesn't have experience. You could drop them with body shots and shit, you know? And you can knock out like I said, any little dude can knock out a big dude, but a less skilled one, a one that's not conditioned to take punches. Now you could probably, no. Jake Paul might not be on the level of Tank. Yeah, he's not on Tank's level. You really think Tank Davis can bounce around that ring all night and Jake's not going to catch up to him at no point in the fight? Rolly fucking put a knot on Tank's head like this. Right? With those skills. He caught up to Tank with those kind of skills. Rolly skills. I'm going to tell you right now, Jake Paul's a smart man. You know what he's going to do? He's going to order one of the smallest rings. It's exactly what he's going to do. And you know what Jake Paul's using this for? Right? He's going to try to discredit our boxers. If Jake Paul was to beat Tank Davis in this exhibition fight, what would that do for Tank Davis' credibility? Now, technically, it's not going to count on his record. So Tank could get knocked out. That's going to be, oh my God, that would be bad to see. Jake Paul knocking out Tank. Oh my God. A world where Jake Paul knocks out Tank. My God. Where the fuck are we going? Yo, anything can happen. And you could keep telling yourself, no, that'll never happen. That'll never happen. Jake Paul would never knock out Tank Davis because Tank Davis is it. You could tell yourself whatever you want to convince yourself that Tank Davis, and I can agree with you, right? But I also know There's that 1% chance that Buster Douglas was going to knock out Mike Tyson. And guess what happened? You ever see those people at them basketball games? They're like, yo, for $10,000, hit a half court shot. Hit the half court shot at halftime. And the guy gets up there with the ball and he's like, I don't play basketball. Just throw the ball. And he, fuck it. And it goes in. 1% chance. Shit happens. What if Tank Davis goes like this and he gets grease in the eye? I just got my hair done 2 days ago, right? And he goes to take the knee and Jake Paul connects. Boop! Yo! It's a fucking fight, bro. There's a 1% chance shit can go left. If Jake, hypothetically, I can't see this happening, but if Jake Paul fucks around and knocks out Tank Davis, there goes Tank Davis's career. He'll be done. He's done. He's going to need Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney. He's going to need whoever's left around. He's going to need them. If he gets knocked out by fucking Jake Paul, bro. Imagine waking up tomorrow and that's the headline. Let's play this out. Jake Paul just knocked out Tank Davis. We're gonna and everybody's gonna say, why the fuck you sign up for this fight? Why didn't you fight Lamont Roach? You see what you did, Tank? You dumbass. You went and fucking around with fucking Jake Paul's ass and you got knocked out. And you know what I'm saying? Like, so Panic Attack, what's up? Yo, Edwin, would love to see Usyk retire Jake Paul. He ain't stupid. That man is not stupid. He even denied the AJ fight, Jake Paul, because he knew he's not on that level, bro. Jake Paul, AJ will do him like he did Francis Ngannou. Turkey Alashi got his hitman. The one he's like Turkey Alashi, and he said it before the fight. I'm sending in AJ to knock out fucking Francis Ngannou to stop all this fucking shit. But guys thinking that he can come to boxing and beat our real champions when Tyson Fury fucking fumbled the bag on that one. Tyson Fury was supposed to stop all that and end up getting dropped in the fight. Then he goes and gets AJ and AJ fucking one-shots him. Boom! Fucking knocks fucking Francis out. We never heard anything from the man, right? So Turkey said, I'll take AJ and put him in against Jake Paul. Jake Paul don't want that smoke. And if Jake Paul didn't want the smoke from AJ, he definitely ain't fighting Usyk. But Usyk will beat the fuck out of Jake Paul. Usyk would embarrass Jake Paul. That's too much. That's too much. That's such a skill gap. That's way too much. Usyk will fucking, that'll be the last day Jake Paul fights. And there'll be no more Jake Paul fights after that fight. So yeah. Jake wins easy. Against who? If it was what? A real fight, Jake wins easy. Against who? Haney will be remembered as the guy that cried Ryan beat. Yeah, okay. Round one will be in Border Wars. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. I will be fighting in Border Wars November 8th. Where? Guys, give me 1 second. What is my grandfather doing? Did he lock his coat in the he's at the door downstairs, but he's like pinned to the door like this. And he's smoking a cigar. He's not going to his chair. It looks like he closed the door and pinned his coat, and now he can't turn to open the knob. So he just decided to smoke a cigar. Or is he just leaning on the door? I'm curious. I'm really curious. Guys, you guys got to give me 2 minutes. What is Border Wars? Border Wars is an amateur boxing event. No. He okay. He's moving. Cool. Border Wars is an amateur boxing event that the Boxing Voice Ness puts on, where that guys that you register, you get your book and everything, and they have like young men and women, and they give them Ness puts on the events, and you could see the next amateur future fighters coming up. And since Ness has a big platform, and he's one of the biggest platforms in boxing, if not one, he's one of them. And the notoriety that all the fighters get, like the last Border Wars just concluded, it got 17,000 views on the day that it was filmed alone. So, and all boxers and coaches, they watch this and we have fun, talking about all the events and stuff. So they have an event there with, it's called the Masters, where that fighters over 35 years old can compete. Now, the fighters over 35 years old, they match you up in age in your group, and it's 3 rounds, 2-minute rounds. So you only got to do 2 minutes, and like the guy that I'm fighting, he's 48. The guy that I'm fighting is 48. But he's had 15 fights in the Masters. He's been fighting in the Masters for over 8 years. I looked him up. He's coming off a 2-year layoff, and then when he came off his 2-year layoff, he lost his last fight, right? So I saw his last fight, which is just concluded August 1st. So he's active. He's active. He just fought August 1st. So I couldn't fight August 1st. I mean, 2nd. I'm sorry. It was August 2nd. August 1st was my wife's birthday. He fought August 2nd. Okay. So I couldn't take my wife to a fucking boxing match on her birthday. So I didn't enter on that one. So I said, I'll catch you on the next one. So lo and behold, this guy calls me out. OC, right? And OC says, yo, round 1, man, you be up there with all those belts. You be talking about boxing like you know boxing. Well, I challenge you. I was like, you want to fight me? What? Why? And he goes, because I think it would be a good fight and I think I could beat you, he said. So I was like, you know what? You're on. So now, in fact, my doctor just called me today to confirm my appointment for Monday for my physical. So I'm going to go get the physical, everything. Once I get that done, cleared everything, and I get my boxing book and I'm registered, because you have to be registered for the U.S. Boxing Committee Association. You got to get registered. So as soon as I fight OC the Boss, you guys can go to BoxRec and see your boy on BoxRec with my pitch. I'm going to be like this, like that. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, I'm 1-0 with 100% knockout ratio, right? Because I'm a knockout OC, right? And I'm just gonna be an undefeated fighter, right? I might just call it quits right there at 51. You know what I mean? But at 51 years old, I never got to fulfill my dream as a boxer. For whatever reasons, I didn't do it. I couldn't do it. Okay. And I saw this. It's like something to challenge yourself. Some people, I say this, want to do kayaking. Some people want to do the Spartan races. Some people want to get on a bike and, Tour de France it or whatever, or jog the Boston Marathon, 28 miles, and they prepare themselves to get in these events. Well, this is my event. This is what I want to do. And I was like, all right, I'll box. And it's going to be streamed on YouTube. You guys will all be able to watch it. You guys will be able to see my fight. Check me out, Round One Sports Talk. If everything goes well, it's in Atlanta, Georgia, November 8th. Yeah. So I'll be letting you guys know as once I get cleared and everything. I'll make a huge announcement here at Round One Sports Talk once everything's done. And it's on and popping. It's on and popping. I've already started getting into training. I'm nowhere where I need to be, but once I know the direction that I'm going in, what I'm training for, because I'm gonna have to lose some of these gains. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't be all muscle. I want to be more flexible. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. Do OC the boss like that? 702. If he dies, he dies. Drago. Bah! and Rocky's holding his. Yeah. How do we watch a fight? Yeah, I think I just answered that. And thank you for the $5 donation. I mean, you super chat. Absolutely. So, yeah, it'll be streamed on the TBV platform. That's the Boxing Voice, and it will be streamed November 8th. He has it all up on his things. I think tickets are like $35 if you were to fly out to Atlanta. Whoever would like to do that, or if you're in the Atlanta or live nearby, as like I said, as I know more about my status and my involvement in this match, once I get cleared, I will be putting out addresses and things like that and stuff. And then I'm gonna do some training video and stuff, and probably like in the gym stuff, right? But unfortunately, that's gonna have to be for my members. Yeah, I'm gonna have to drop that down for the members and shit, because OC the boss ain't gonna get no free looks. Yeah, he's gonna have to become a member in order to get a look at me, because he's always on my platform trying to study me. You know what I mean? He comes in on my live stream while I'm working out. You know what I mean? And he's in his living room in his spandex with the high socks on, and he's got like a headband. It's like wrapped right here, and he's got like two dumbbells, and he's going like this, and he's got the song in the background going, "Let's get physical, physical." Yo, that's OC. You know what I'm saying? And then he tune in on my show, and he get a real workout. I'm basically training this dude. You know what I mean? So I gotta like not show him everything, But I gotta train him somehow though, too, because I want to fight, because his last fight wasn't all that impressive, if you ask me. But what do I know? You know what I'm saying? I only know how to win. I'm talking shit. Yo, I better win this fight talking all this shit, right? Yo, let's go. Tune in. Watch your boy Round One Sports Talk. Yo, you know how they be like, and I didn't even think about this until afterwards. I didn't think about it until afterwards, because he goes, yo, why do you want to fight? Why do you want to fight? And Nas got you to fight on the border wars and this and that. He's genius, this and that, and everything and third. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, nah. Like, y'all swear to God, like, I'm in here with you guys. No, you guys are locked in here with me. No, I would have fought him, because it's something that I want to do. You know, this is my shit. This is me. And then like when people talk about, yo, I know boxing, I know this, I know that, I can see this and this, and I don't doubt that you can have an eye for the sport. I don't doubt it. Pulling it off is different. You can have an eye and not be able to pull off, but that doesn't mean you don't know what you're talking about. You know, and I understand that too. But when it comes to me, and a mofo come up here talk about, yo, what you done, right? Well, then, do you got a box rec? Because if you don't got a box rec, I around here, yo, your boy's gonna, I'm gonna lose my mind, right? But that's all the perks that comes with it, because whether I would have been on box rec or not or anything, I was still gonna fight. You got to understand, um, uh, the moment's not gonna be too big for me. The stage is not gonna be too big. None of that shit affects me. I I I'm in a different place. I'm in a different place. I've embraced all that shit. Where my challenge lies is in the preparation. That's where my challenge lies. Getting myself up to work out, going through the workout, actually putting in the work. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's where my challenge lies. I'm not scared of the moment. I'm not scared to fight him. I'll fight him, his boy, his cousin, his uncle, back to back. I don't give a fuck about a fight. It's the preparation for me, man. It's going through it. It's them damn punches that I know I'm about to get sparring. I haven't been punched in the face. Yo, I'm still pretty. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Right? And I intend to stay this way. You know, I didn't get here for nothing. And now, like, it's the preparation, man. That's the biggest challenge. Nothing else scares me but quitting on myself. Quitting on myself, that fear that I can't do this, that I got in way over my head. That punching something, fatigue, no matter how much I work out, I'm that energy is not going to stay there. The mental doubt in my head. The what if I get hurt? What if I get embarrassed? There is none of that shit that's going to stop me from going through this shit. None of that. Because there is no getting knocked out. There is no losing. There ain't none of that. I'm not going to a fucking Atlanta, whatever, Georgia, to lose. I ain't going out there to make a fool out of myself. OC, if you're hoping that I gas out, good fucking luck. Good luck. Just make it out that first round. Make it out that first round, OC. I'm going to tell you right now, bro. And that's my opponent. That's my assignment. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers invited me to the dance, right? And I was already inside. I'm like, where y'all been at? Y'all late to the dance. Because I've been here and I got my dancing shoes on. You know what I'm saying? What's up, brother? Damn, your name is fucking me up. I swear to God, I think your name says Sophie. How's it going? Good. Panic attack. Go get on me. I can't wait to see you fight. Bro, I can't wait to see my fight after I fight. Win, lose, or draw, bro. It's all love with OC, the boss, respect. But I told him, you know, we gotta get in warrior mode. You know what I'm saying? And he's never personally done anything to me. I don't personally do anything to him. But I'm gonna make shit up in my head right now. You know what I'm saying? If one of you guys say right now in the chat, OC the boss was just talking shit about your three-legged cat, I'm gonna fucking snap. I'm gonna snap. I don't own a three-legged cat, and that would be a lie, but I will use that as fuel. I'm gonna use whatever it is because I'm gonna make it in my head that I'm gonna have to fuck this dude up right here. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So, yo, OC, you the boss. Don't let me hear you talking about my three-legged cat in these streets. All right? Because I'm coming for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yo, listen, fight fans, you guys are amazing, man. Tune in. Uh, you know, watch me go through my journey as I start getting closer. We're only like 2 months out from, there or whatever it is, the amount of months, whatever it is. And yeah, 2 months. That's it, right? Something like that. Yeah, 2 months. We're 2 months out. October, November, right? So yeah, it'll be here like that. Before you know it, they'll be announcing my name and I'll be walking into that ring. Yeah, fight fans. So, fight fans, listen, man, thank you for tuning in. Lock in. Don't forget to hit that like button. I invite you to become a Round One Sports Talk member. Support the brand. I need a lot of help on this. I have to still buy my shorts that I'm going to wear in the event, my shirt. I got to do all that. I got to pay for my hotel room. I got to pay for my way there. I also got to pay $150 to register to fight in the event. So I need a lot of help, guys. So whatever you guys can do for me to get me to this fight, I would really appreciate it. And I'm gonna shout out everybody that helps me out and everything. And if anybody wants to sponsor me, I will wear your t-shirt or your logo on my shorts, if you sponsor me. So all right, fight fans, thank you for tuning in here at another edition here at Round One Sports TV. Like I said, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe to the channel, and like always, I'm on to the next one after this one here at